Hello, everybody. Okay, so I wanted to go over something with you guys that is probably the second most asked question I get on my foiling videos, which is, what do you do with all the foiling waste? Because I always tell you guys, don't throw it away, don't throw it away, we can reuse it, right? So on the left, I have all of my hot foiling leftover. So these are from my hot foil dies. This is the hot foil from the Gemini FoilPress. This is from Couture Creations. This is from Toto. This foil is completely different from Minc foil because this foil already has adhesive built into it. So this is a heat activated foil. Once the heat touches it, it activates it. And so these are the leftover pieces for all of the projects that I have made in the last couple of days, and then some that I've been keeping in a little basket. Now on the right side, this is all of my Minc foil. So these are all of the things. This is my Creative Vision Stamps foil. This is Deco foil, Gina K foil, American Crafts foil. This foil does not have an adhesive built into it. This is toner-based foil, so it needs a toner to stick through it. So these are all things that I have foiled and kept, okay? And you use two different machines to foil these things. When you have brand new crisp clean foil, you use either a Minc or a laminator for the Minc foil, or you use a hot foil based system like the Gemini FoilPress or the Glimmer Spellbinders Glimmer machine, or the Couture Creations Go Press and Foil, or something like that, right? So the number one question you guys ask me is, Nance, what do we do with all this extra foil? You keep telling us not to throw it away. So I'm going to teach you guys very easily how you can use all of this foil. And that's right, doesn't matter what kind it is. We're going to put it all in one big pile here, and I'm going to give you guys a sure, foolproof way to use all of this extra foil. And here's the great news. You only need two things to do it, okay? So the first thing you're going to need is your Minc or your laminator. So I prefer a Minc machine for two reasons. Number one, it gets hotter. Number two, it has two sets of rollers in it so that it's going to give you enough pressure, okay? The other thing that you're going to need is toner sheets. Okay, now these I got from Creative Vision Stamps. I will link them for you. These are solid toner sheets. You get 4 full-size sheets of high-quality toner sheets. This is all you need. So either your Minc or your laminator and these solid toner sheets, and I'll show you guys what I mean here. And I do have 2 Minc carrier sheets as well. I'll link those in the description for you guys as well. Okay, so remember how I said there's 2 types of foil. The foil that needs an adhesive, which is going to be your Creative Vision Stamps foil, your Deco foil, your Minc foil. Well, this toner sheet has toner on it. So what happens is this toner heats up through the machine. Once it heats up with the foil on there, the foil sticks to it. The other kind of foil that we're going to use, the hot foil, has adhesive built into it, which means it's going to stick anyway. So yeah, you could use your Gemini FoilPress for this, but why? It's so easy to do the way I'm going to show you guys. So I want to show you guys a couple of things already. So the easiest way to do this is to cut your foil sheets down. So here's an example. I'm just going to cut this foil sheet down. Ideally, you also want to maybe have your foil cut down to the size and width that you want. You could always cut it down later, but this is how you get to reuse your foil. So it looks like these are 3.5. Okay, so these are some sentiments. These were foilable sentiments that I used on cards the other day. I actually ran out of sentiments and said, I need to buy some more sentiments. So we're going to make our own here. And I'm going to cut this down and cut this down. You do not want any extra toner sheet hanging over, okay? Keep that in mind. You want to cut your toner sheets down because once that toner heats up, it's gonna stick to your carrier sheets, and you don't want that. Now, it's very easy to clean off with some acetone, not a big deal. All right, I did a very bad job here at keeping my foil clean. I will admit to that. Where's my little dusty buddy thingy? Oh, let me grab that. Okay, so I'm going to dust off my toner sheets, which I could see my fingerprints and glitter all over it. I'm going to dust off the back of the foil. I'm going to grab my carrier sheet, dust that off. You're going to put your toner sheet down. You're going to put your foil over it. And again, you don't want any excess toner hanging out. Any of that excess toner that hangs out will stick to your carrier sheet, and then you'll mar up your carrier sheet. Okay, so now we're going to run that through. So again, what's happening is there's a chemical reaction. These toner sheets have toner, high quality full toner on them. And this is a thick cardstock, so it's very, very easy to work with. And as it heats up, the foil is going to stick. So it doesn't matter what kind of foil you have, the foil will stick. This is the #1 way that I use up my scraps. I can use the Gemini FoilPress way, but I'll be honest with you guys, that's hard work. We want to make it easy. All right, now as this comes through the Minc, again, we want to give it a second to cool down. Don't worry about the foil and the toner that gets stuck inside your carrier sheets. Just use a little acetone to clean that off. All right, so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 sentiments in silver and black on this toner sheet. We're going to pull the top of the foil off. Okay, this is how much waste we have. Very, very little. Now I can throw this away. We don't need this anymore, okay? Now you're saying, well, that looks pretty good, Nance. I like that. But what do I do about the areas that are black? If you don't like it black, change the color of it. So let's find some other scraps of paper. You know, we always cut off paper and we have excess paper. I'm sorry, foil. And we don't know what to do with it. Well, this is where you're going to use that excess foil. So here's a couple of end pieces. I'm going to use this purple just for the sake of demonstrating here. So I'm going to cut down this greeting here. It says, holiday greetings from our home to yours. Certainly, you could use it that way, right? It looks great. But I want to liven it up a little. So this is where you're going to do dual foiling, double foiling. Here. So we're going to take this purple. This is Creative Vision Stamps foil. And it doesn't matter. I have all my foils mixed up. I should wipe that though. Now, I did just throw all of my foils in a little basket. You should neatly stack your foil, because what happens is when it gets all thrown around, it gets scratched up and marred, and then, like I said, dust and particles can get stuck to it, and that's your enemy to foiling. I mean, here's a whole sheet that I just cut off. I don't know why. Probably because it's scratched up. But this is why we keep these scraps around. The other thing you can do with these toner sheets is you can die cut them, and I love doing that. So let me grab some cool die cuts here. I'm looking for my Christmas ones. should say holiday. I'm going to be politically correct, right? Okay. Oh, here they are. Here they are, right in front. All right, so I'm going to die cut a couple things just to show you guys. All right, so I have my cutting plate. I have a piece of that toner sheets. Now you can either foil first or die cut first, up to you. I like to die cut first because I want the foiling to be the last thing I do so that it looks super shiny and pretty. So these are two little dies that are word dies. One says joy, one says peace. Oops. And I'm going to squeeze both of these on one piece here. And actually, let's grab another die. Okay, here's some little trees. Okay, so we'll put those on there. Maybe a little bit of purple tape just to hold them in place. Now when you put your purple tape on, you want to make sure your purple tape doesn't go on anything that's going to get foiled, because the adhesive residue left over from the purple tape will affect your foiling, so just keep that in mind. So I'm pretty sure when I die cut these, then I'll be done with these. I won't keep these tiny, tiny pieces of toner sheets. Okay, so then we put our sandwich together. So we have our magnetic plate, we have our milky plate, and then we have our top cutting plate. I'm going to run this through my Gemini Junior. Here's the one we double foiled, so now it's no longer black. It's silver and purple. Okay, so let's show you guys the die cutting. And again, you can use any of your foiling scraps for this. Or your good foil, whatever you want to do. I like to use up my scraps on the little things like this. These word dies, by the way, are penny black Christmas sentiments. They're just very pretty and scripty. And I think it's joy, peace, and something else. There's 3 words that came with this little set. Okay, let me get all my little extra pieces out of here. We don't want any extra toner in our folder. Okay, so now these are ready to foil. So I am going to put just a piece of paper underneath. You don't have to, just to keep it elevated off my toner sheet here. This is just a regular piece of paper. Plus, it'll make it easier for you guys to see. Okay, so we have the word joy. We have the word peace. We have our little trees. Okay, now ideally you want to try to get all the dust and debris off of them. Keyword is try. Okay, and I'm just going to use this pink sheet just for time's sake. And I should have dusted it, and I didn't. Yes. Thank you for reminding me. So here's another piece of toner, cutting that off. Here's some more foilables words that I ran out of, which I really need. So we're going to line this up on the foil. Okay. Okay, we'll make sure the toner's all covered up. Here's one I did, which was originally red, and I put silver over it, so it's red and silver. Here's the purple and silver. Here's the silver ones, which I'm going to leave as black, but of course I could double foil those. Here are the die cuts we just did. So these are now pink foiled die cuts. So I'll hold those up for you guys. Now, any of the missed spots are most likely because my foil was kind of scratched and dinged up. Whenever you miss spots, it's because either your foil is scratched and dinged up and it's from not being taken care of, which is definitely the case for these pieces. As like I said, they were thrown off as side pieces, or because you didn't get all the dust and debris off of there. But you can see these are pretty nicely foiled that I can use those. Here's the sentiments we just did. I was trying to line it up to save that one on the bottom, but I couldn't get it moved up. Okay, so now we have this full red toner sheet. This is now waste. We don't need this anymore. We're going to throw that away. And we can now cut these sentiments down. And it's kind of hard to see the sentiments on here. These are crooked. So I'm going to try to cut them straight. But I'm going to try to double foil these. Now this piece here is all foiled. If I wanted to, I could die cut a word out of that. So here's Happy Holidays, Joy to the World. We have some of this really cool holographic silver foil. Let's use this up. Both of them on one sheet. Nope, it's not going to fit. Okay, so we'll just do this one on this one, this one on this one. And I am moving pretty quickly here because I don't want this to be an hour-long video and you guys saying what's taking so long. I just want you guys to understand the basics that you can foil all of this scrap foil with just using these toner sheets. So let's use another hot foil one. Okay, here's one we had. Oh, that's too long. Aha. Remember our little stag heads? Let's see if we can double foil these guys. See how they come out. Now, any place that's missing foil, keep in mind, like these stag heads had over foiled. That's not going to foil. You're still going to be missing foil there. But I Again, I'm just demonstrating this for you guys, so I'm okay with it missing foil. And you want to cut your toner sheet to fit. You can use any foil that you have. Ooh, that came out pretty good. Look at that. Red with the sparkles. See this black spot? That's from dust. I didn't dust off my stuff. Okay, we still have some toner sheet here. I'm just going to use up as much as I can here. And one sheet goes a long way. It's 8.5 by 11. So if you're doing full card front sizes, you're using 4. You're getting 4, but I'm doing small die cuts and things like that. Now here I wanted to show you. See, there's toner sticking there and there, so it's sticking to my carrier sheet. And when I rip it off, there's now toner on my carrier sheet. Not a problem. It will clean up with fingernail polish remover with some acetone. Now we're going to pull this off. Now we have our stag head there. Ooh, very rustic looking. Ooh, very masculine. Very rustic. We can leave it like that. But no, what fun would that be? And again, you don't have to use scraps. Use the foil that you have. If you want to use good foil, use good foil. I'm just telling you guys what you can do here with all of this. So here's another piece of foil. Now remember that copper color was hot foil. Now I'm going to put a piece of Creative Vision Stamps foil on top of it, which is not hot foil. It's regular Minc foil. So you can mix and match your foils. All foils will work on this method because the toner sheet becomes the adhesive. The toner sheet warms up and sticks to that foil for you. Some more sentiments we can use. I'm going to cut these down. And again, you can cut before or after. I do normally like to cut beforehand so that I'm not wasting my toner sheets. And always, when you pull it out of your Minc, you want to give it a second to cool down. Now, if you're going to use a laminator for this project, that's fine. Just make sure your laminator has been heating up for a minimum of a half an hour. You want to use it on the hottest setting, which is usually 5 milliliters for most laminators. I know the Royal Sovereign is a good laminator. There's a couple of them out there for foiling. Not just any old laminator will work. Also, you want to use some kind of a shim. So like I did that paper shim. You want to use a shim because that will help the pressure in your machine. That's why I like the Minc machine, because the Minc machine gets super hot and has that extra pressure in there already. But yes, you can do this with a laminator. You just need to use these toner sheets. So now I'm going to have plenty of sentiments. So we're going to put these two leftover foilable sentiments in with this green foil. Okay, so here's our stag head, double foiled. So we have that rose gold in the background, and then we have, he's kind of a dark berry color. What a great fall looking color. And again, dust. Now, I can always go back in with a glue pen and fix that. Again, I just was trying to save time for you guys, so that's why I wasn't properly dusting everything. You do want to dust either with a brush or with the Foilables duster. But you really get the most use out of all of your foiling, your scraps, your leftovers, your waste by doing this method. It's so cool. So here is the green. Now we need to pull this green off because there's a top layer here. Okay, so now all we're left is with this. This is now waste for sure. And I'm going to go back in and double foil these. And I'm going to use some of this. What do we got here? Do I have enough of this gold foil? Well, we have some of this. Oh, here we go. This is Starburst hot foil. And we're going to put it right over regular Minc foil. And double foil these. You want to make sure your foil doesn't get crinkled. So again, I hope this video was helpful for those of you who asked, what do I do with the waste? What do we do with our extra foil? There are only two things you need, is a Minc or a laminator, and these Creative Vision Stamps foilable solid toner sheets. Now, if you have a laser printer, you could make your own. Honestly, it's not worth it. Just buy the foilable sheets. They're already on high quality paper. They're high quality toner. It's an even layer. You're not wasting the toner out of your laser machine. And you cut it down, and it's very good quality and sturdy if you wanted to do die cuts and things like that as well. And anything you can die cut with it, you can foil. And any kind of foil you have, you can use. So again, we're going to reveal this. All right, now this foil has always given me a problem. It has overfoiled, and this is why we do these experiments. So I would say on this foil, I would probably make a note to myself, don't use it for double foiling. So this is why I do these things, so you guys can see. This foil, for some reason, even when I use it on the hot foil dies, it just doesn't foil correctly for me. So these I would not use. Let's throw those out. Do I feel like I wasted anything? No, because I'm using up what would have gone in the trash anyway. Here's another one we can use. So let's try that again. Probably could have lowered the heat. I have it on setting 3, but who wants to do that? We don't want to lower our heat. And I'm going to use some of this mermaid foil to double foil this. So plenty of things I can double foil. The other thing I would say is make sure you're looking at your foil. When you have foil images like this, so, you know, it's overfoiled here, 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 here. I don't know if you want to use something like that. That's totally up to you guys. It does give it a very rustic kind of weathered look, you know, where it looks distressed. That's in right now, especially when you're doing masculine cards. But you certainly don't have to use those pieces. If you use, I would say 50% of your leftover foil, then you're making good, you know, knocking out a good bunch of that. So it's totally personal preference. If you're the type of person that just doesn't even want to bother and throw your foil away, hey, that's your foil. Do with it what you want. But a lot of you have asked me, what do I do with that excess foil? I mean, these are tiny little pieces of foil that just have been cut down and saved, because you never know when you're going to need a little die cut or a little thing foiled. Or a foiling mistake, and we need to go in with our two-way glue pen and cover up some of those dust marks. So you can always do that as well. And I have full-size sheets of foil here. There's some musical notes that I use probably for a birthday card. Here's some flowered sheets that were used in backgrounds that, again, all saved. Here's some stripes. Here's some more sentiments. There's a whole bunch of foil. There's hot foiling mixed in with Minc foil. It doesn't matter. They will all work on this method. There we have our Green Merry Christmas with that mermaid foil. That's kind of neat looking. All right, so there we go, guys. If you have any questions, post them down below. I always appreciate your comments and your questions. I will try to link everything in the description for you guys so that you guys can shop for these products and get to using your excess double foiling. And there we go. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, I would appreciate having you as a subscriber. I'm always doing giveaways for my subscribers. You can click the little bubble that's going to come up in the corner here and subscribe, and I will let you know every time I post a video. Thanks for watching, guys, and keep on stamping. Bye-bye.